Good afternoon, guys. I've always wanted to do a video on changing a tire without, taking it to a tire machine or needing anything too major. So this is a stock tire that I don't really care for because it doesn't have good enough tread. The tread's too close, so if I mow sideways on my hill, it'll slide down. So I usually swap the tires out from the factory, and these are 23 inches, which were a little awkward to find in a aggressive tire, but end up coming up with one, and I just have them out here. But so that's kind of what the pattern looks like. So that's the tire I'm going to be putting on, and then I got one side on already. So just to show you, and you can see it's just a thicker pattern. It'll keep it from sliding. A little more aggressive tread on the side. And if you know how to use a Zeroturn, it it won't tear the grass up if you know how to actually use the controls and keep the tires, both tires, spinning even when you're turning around. So I just wouldn't want to. I wouldn't recommend mowing if it was a little wet or something like that. You for sure want to be on drier ground. But this would be handy if you're mowing by a pond or something, and you got a little slope, and that's kind of my problem. I have a pond, but I got a pretty good sized slope that I slide down if I want to mow sideways on it. So we're gonna use these tires here, and like I said, there's the old one. And just to show you there's really no major tools. You don't even need a drill or small impactor, and you could all do it just by, the socket the size of your lug nut and just loosen it by hand. But I like to be a little quicker, so I use that. And the little Allen one is so I can stick it in here and buzz my jack up. I have a different jack, but this little scissor jack seems to work pretty good to get in awkward spots on the mower, so I just use the little scissor jack. And then soapy water to put the tire on. You could probably get by with just two. You could probably even two tire iron things, but you could probably get by even with screwdrivers if you're good enough. I just like these. They make it quick, and they're pretty cheap. And then I have the valve stem, the remover to let all the air out, because you want to do that when you break your bead down. It's low tire pressure gauge. And then I have a tape measure because I'm going to make sure my deck's level, because these are brand new tires, and I already measured. And what's weird is this side that's a little taller, the deck's lower than the other side. So I'm going to have a little playing around to do with that. So that's why I got the tape measure out. So I'm going to pop this wheel off over here and then show you the next step I do. So I'm just going to pause you for a minute. All right, so I'm back. I got it jacked up, and then I got all the lugs off. And like I said, I just used my salt impact, and then I'll just pop this off, and then there's your hub. You could run a little spacer to push the tire out, inch or two, and that would give you even more stability on a hill. But I'm gonna try it with just tires first and see. I usually have pretty good luck with that. So now we'll go to the next step. All right, guys, I'm back. Here's the next step. So you're going to want to make sure you get the air out. And to break the bead the right way, you can't just let the air out. You got to make sure you take the valve stem all the way out and let all the air out. So when you're breaking the bead, it can push some of that air out real quick if needed, so the tire can break away from the bead. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. These things are a couple bucks. I actually have one with a handle, a nice one, but I don't know where it's at. So you'll hear the air just come out like that, and you just want it all to go all the way out. And then the next step, you could use a 2x4, but 2x6 even. They always break, so I use a 4x4 and then run it down to 2x4 or 2x6. That way it steps up for the tire. And what you're doing is you're getting the weight to push down right here on the tire. Now you don't want to have this set all the way over to where when it falls down, it'll hit the rim. You want to be back some. Certain tires are different than others. Like since this tire balloons up, I'm making sure I'm back a hair. If the tire was flatter with the rim, you could go almost all the way up there. So I'm gonna try to video this as I'm doing it. So give me a second. Okay, let's see if this works the first time. So you're just going to drive up on it nice and slow, and then you should see it let some of the air out. There it goes, and you'll see that next pop. Sometimes you got to pull back and try, you know, just spin the wheel. So if it wouldn't have broke that time, I could have, you know, just spun the wheel a little and stuck the piece of wood right there. But then you just want to make sure you can get it all the way around. And then you just flip it and do the same thing. Now, if I had a nice, like when I do my actual like car tires or motorcycle tires, you'd want to probably put cardboard or something underneath there, a mat, just so in case it might scratch your rim. But since these rims are just a lawnmower rim, and the tire is big enough that they're not even hitting the ground anyways, so so we're just going to make sure we get this wood about right where we want it and try it again. All right, here we go. The last one I had to do twice because so you'll see it'll just kind of push it down like that and doesn't do nothing. So you gotta go spin the tire and try it again. And that's what happened on the other side. And if you don't get the 4x4 right, that could also do it because you're trying to just hit it to where it just sneaks past the rim. So all the force you want down right here by the bead. All right, let's see if second time's a charm with this one. Sometimes you can sit there and there it goes, and it'll finally go if it has a good enough bite. So, sorry if you see any raindrops, it's because I'm sweating. It's like 100 degrees out here trying to do this. So, as you see, it just breaks the bead all the way around. And so now we have both beads broken down. And then I'll bring it back into my air-conditioned garage and pop the tire off, and I'll try to set it up where I can show that. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I got my phone set back up, so hopefully this will work. You could probably put soap around here to make it a little easier. That's up to you guys. But you just want to make sure you got it to where it's all the way down. And you have your valve stem, and you typically want to start to where you're on the valve stem side, so you have this tire all the way down sitting in here, because the more you have it this way, the easier it is to get it this way. And this has a part of the valve stem inside the tire, and your tire can catch on that. So you want to be, you know, down here like this. And then I'm just going to grab this side and lift it up. And I kind of hold it with my foot. You don't really have to, but that's the easiest way to do it. And then you just kind of go around the tire. It's just almost like a game. And once you get, you know, a quarter of it, you got it, then that's it. That's all it takes. Especially with the tire that's a good sidewall, like a truck tire, you know, that one would still be easy to do, even by hand. I mean, I've seen people do semis by hand almost quicker than you could do it on the machine. So now the easiest way that I've found is you got your wheel like that, and you're just going to take, I use the hook side and just kind of get it over that tire and then push it down. That way it keeps it up, and I just kind of hold it down, and you'll notice it applies a little pressure, And then I just walk this around, and that's it. Tires out. It's actually as easy as it looks. You know, some of that stuff always seems harder than it looks. It's actually that easy if you're somewhat mechanically inclined and have changed. Even a bicycle tire would help you know you want that tire sitting down in here so you know you have more room on this side, because if it's sitting here, the tire is not going to pull over it. But so that's that part. I'm going to pause it here and reset up again. Okay, I'm back from sweating to death and taking a break. So now we have the new tire, and when you put it on, I always put it with the same with the valve stem side up, because some wheels, this sticks in farther on the other sides or vice versa. So this wheel really doesn't matter, but some wheels it's easier to do one way over the other. And what I do now is I just I just have a sock with some soapy water. These rims are new, so there's really nothing down here that's dirty. But you would want to clean where your beads are going. That way there's no debris that gets in the way and keeps your tire from leaking. But so that's basically it. So now the trick is, since this wheel, the valve stem is going to be on this side, the way my mower's sitting there. So I need the tire. So these are directional tires. So I need the tire going this way on the wheel, because if you had it the other way, you'd have one tire reversed and it wouldn't work right. So we want it to go that way because that's the way this wheel is going to go. So I'll just take this soap and lube it real good inside and out. So that just gives you a good bite. So then you're just going to take it, and the first layer is easy. You just you're going to shove it on. It goes on basically like butter, so that you're already halfway there. So now the last step is this, and I'm just going to keep my foot in there and just kind of grab an area. And same thing, you're going to try to walk it around, and your foot's basically keeping the tire from your foot's basically keeping it from just keep sliding around, because if you did that, I would just keep going around doing circles, because this would never go over the tire. And the other thing you're doing is trying to keep the tire down below this right here. Foot will get down there. There it goes. I have one little thing caught up on it, and you can actually almost do it. It'll probably slip out and hit me in the face. I better do one more. So that's that. Again, it was just these two. One end has a little lip. That's the end I usually use, and this one's a little lighter. You can get these at Harbor Freight or anywhere. They're pretty cheap, Amazon. And then I even have this one that I used to use for my motorcycle wheels and tires back when I used to race. But so that's that. So the next step is to beat it up, put the valve stem in, and we'll go to that next. All right, we're back. I'm bringing it upstairs to my upstairs air compressor. And so we're going to put this valve stem core back in there and just crank it in there. So this has a little thing like that, and that's how it grabs it. And you're just spinning it in there. Sorry. Alright, so you'll feel it grab, and then once it's tight, it'll actually spin the whole valve stem. So now we're ready to air it up. And I got one of these locking styles, so just put it on there like that. So now we're just going to air it up, and sometimes you'll have a good gap here and you won't be able to get the air in, so you kind of got to play around with it, bounce the tire up and down, whatever, to try to get it to jog into close enough. But once you air it up, and you probably ain't gonna be able to hear me, you should hear at least 2 pops of the bead popping. So bear with me, it might be a little loud. I usually go to about 20 on these just to make sure. I don't know what the max is, but I go about 20, make sure it holds. And then I'll just pop this off and just hold the button and the trigger and let my air out. And I'm going to go all the way down to about 12 psi for now. Kind of see it bubbling right there. That's pretty good right there. And so we'll just go with that. Sorry, the air compressor's a little loud. And then this should all, you know, beat up. I use soapy water, so it almost acts like glue. But if you do find a leak, that means you either got something dirty or it still needs some more air to beat up, or you might even have to put some type of bead glue on it. But this one has a little bubble right there. We'll see how it does. Once it's rolling, usually that'll get the tire on there nice and tight. So that's about it. I just wanted to show how that step went. So thanks for watching, and hope this helps somebody do it, you know, that can do it just out of your garage really easy. Thanks. Have a good day.